Good day everyone. I'm Sir John, your math teacher for today. In my previous video, you have learned to solve quadratic equations, finding the solutions by factoring. Today, I will discuss to you another way of solving quadratic equation, and that is by completing the square. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, click the notification bell for you to be updated for more math videos. Aside from solving quadratic equations by factoring, there is another method of solving it, and that is by completing the square. This method involves transforming the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 into the form the square of x minus h equals k, where k is greater than or equal to 0. Example, find the solutions of x squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0 by completing the square. X squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. This equation is written in standard form, and we need to transform it into the form the square of x minus h equals k. Let's have first step. Divide both sides of the equation by a, then simplify. As you have observed, our a is equal to 1, so we need not to divide it by 1 because we will go back to its equation. So we will proceed now to the second step, which is to write the equation such that the terms with variables are on the left side of the equation and the constant term is on the right side of the equation. In this example, the constant is positive 5. So we need to transfer positive 5 to the right side of the equation. To do that, we need to add negative 5 to both sides of the equation. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 5 plus negative 5 equals 0 plus negative 5. Let's simplify. So we have x squared plus 6x equals negative 5. Next step is we need these expressions in the left side of the equation a perfect square trinomial. So we will add one term to make it a perfect square trinomial, and let's add the same number to the right side of the equation to make it balance. Okay, let's find the missing term of the equation. Let's find the last term in the left side of the equation to make it a perfect square trinomial. To do that, we need to use b, which is equal to 6. We will divide b by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is equal to 3. Then, we will take the square of 3. 3 times 3 equals 9. So that will be the missing term in the equation. Let's simplify. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals 4. So x squared plus 6x plus 9 is now a perfect square trinomial. We will express this perfect square trinomial as a square of the binomial. Let's factor this. The factors of x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to the square of x plus 3 equals 4. This is now the equation in the form the square x minus h equals k. Now let's simplify. Copy the binomial x plus 3 equals, take the square root of 4. As you can see, the exponent 2 in the left side of the equation has been removed. And then at the right side of the equation, we need to take the square root of that number. So we have x plus 3 equals, the square root of 4 is 2. Take note, to extract the square root of the number, there are two answers for that. We have positive and negative. That's why we have the square root of 4 is positive or negative 2. With this, we can now find the solutions of the given equation. First, we will use positive 2. So we have x plus 3 equals positive 2. Let's continue. We will find now the value of x. So we have to add negative 3 to both sides of the equations so that positive 3 will be transferred to the right side of the equation. So x is equal to 2 minus 3. Then we have x is equal to negative 1. So this will be the first value of our x. To find the other value, we will now use negative 2. So we have x plus 3 equals negative 2. We will transfer again positive 3 to the right side of the equation, and that is by adding negative 3 to both sides of the equation. So we have x is equal to negative 2 minus 3. So our x is equal to negative 5. So we have now the two values of our x, which are negative 1 and negative 5. We will check if these values satisfy the given equation. If that's so, these values are the solutions of the given equation. Let's have checking. Again, the values of our x are negative 1 and negative 5. We will try first negative 1. We will substitute this to the variable x in our equation. X squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. Then, by substitution, we have the square of negative 1 plus 6 times negative 1 plus 5 equals 0. Let's simplify. The square of negative 1 is positive 1 because negative 1 times negative 1 is equal to positive 1. Then, positive 6 times negative 1 is negative 6. Then copy positive 5 equals 0. Let's simplify. 1 minus 6 is negative 5 plus 5, which is equal to 0. So we have 0 equals 0, and that's true. So negative 1 is one of the solutions of our quadratic equation. How about negative 5? Let's try. X squared plus 6x plus 5 equals 0. By substitution, we have the square of negative 5 plus 6 times negative 5 plus 5 equals 0. Let's simplify. The square of negative 5 is positive 25. Positive 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. Then copy positive 5 equals 0. To continue, 25 minus 30 is negative 5 plus 5, which is equal to 0. And that is true. 0 is equal to 0. So negative 5 is also one of the solutions of the given quadratic equation. Since the two values satisfy the given quadratic equation, then negative 1 and negative 5 are the solutions of the quadratic equation. Let's have another example. Find the solutions of 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0 by completing the square. 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. This equation is written in standard form, and as you can see, our a is greater than 1, which is equal to 2. So the first step is, we need to divide both sides of the equation by the leading coefficient. In our equation, again, the leading coefficient, or a, is equal to positive 2. So we will divide this equation, or each term, by positive 2. Let's do that. So 2x squared divided by 2 is x squared. Positive 8x divided by 2 is positive 4x. Negative 10 divided by positive 2, the answer is negative 5. Then equals 0. Next, we will transfer the constant term to the right side of the equation. The constant here is negative 5. So we will transfer negative 5 to the right side of the equation. To do that, we have to add positive 5 since this is negative 5. So we have x squared plus 4x minus 5 plus 5 equals 0 plus 5. Let's simplify. We have x squared plus 4x equals positive 5. Next is, we need to make x squared plus 4x a perfect square trinomial. So we have x squared plus 4x plus missing term equals 5 plus the missing term. Okay, so we will use b, which is equal to positive 4. We have to divide it by 2. So 4 divided by 2 equals positive 2. Then we will take the square of positive 2. So we have 2 times 2 equals 4. So that will be the missing term in our equation. So let's simplify. We have x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals 9. So in our equation, x squared plus 4x plus 4 is a perfect square trinomial. Let's factor it. So the factors are the square of x plus 2, then copy 9. Next, we will copy the binomial x plus 2 equals the square root of positive 9. The square root of positive 9 is positive 3 and negative 3. So we have x plus 2 equals positive or negative 3. Let's find out the values of our x. First, we will use positive 3. So we have x plus 2 equals 3. Then, we will have to combine like terms. X is equal to 3 minus 2. Positive 2 becomes negative 2 when you transfer it to the other side of the equation. So our x is equal to positive 1. That is one of the values of our variable x in the equation. To find the other value of x, we have x plus 2 is equal to negative 3. This time we will use negative 3. Let's simplify. X is equal to negative 3 minus 2. So our x is equal to negative 5. So we have now the two values of x, positive 1 and negative 5. To be sure, we need to check if these values of x satisfy the given equation. So let's do checking. Again, the values of x are positive 1 and negative 5. We will substitute each value to the given equation. Let's start with positive 1. 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. By substitution, we have 2 times the square of 1 plus 8 times 1 minus 10 equals 0. Simplify, we have 2 times 1 because 1 times 1 is 1. Then, positive 8 times positive 1 is positive 8. Copy negative 10 equals 0. Continue, we have 2 times 1 plus 8 minus 10 equals 0 is equal to 2 plus 8 minus 10 equals 0. Continue, we have 2 plus 8 minus 10 equals 0. 0 is equal to 0, and that's true. So positive 1 is the solution of the given quadratic equation. How about negative 5? Let's try. 2x squared plus 8x minus 10 equals 0. By substitution, we have 2 times the square of negative 5 plus 8 times negative 5 minus 10 equals 0. Let's simplify. We have 2 times 25 because negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. Next, we have positive 8 times negative 5 equals negative 40. Then copy negative 10 equals 0. Continue, we have 2 times 25 is 50 minus 40 minus 10 equals 0. 50 minus 40 is equal to positive 10. Minus 10 equals 0. And that's true. 0 is equal to 0. So negative 5 is also a solution of the given quadratic equation. Therefore, the solutions are positive 1 and negative 5. How about this? Find the solutions of 2m squared minus 6m equals 8 by completing the square. 2m squared minus 6m equals 8. This is not written in standard form. As you can see, the constant term is already at the right side of the equation. And as you have observed, our leading coefficient is positive 2, which is greater than 1. So we will divide the whole equation by the leading coefficient, which is positive 2. So we have 2m squared divided by 2 is equal to m squared. Negative 6m divided by 2 is equal to negative 3m equals 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. Again, this is taken after dividing the whole equation, the original equation, by positive 2, our leading coefficient. So let's continue. We will now make this expression m squared minus 3m a perfect square trinomial. Let's find the missing term. We will use the value of b, which is negative 3. Then divide it by 2, that is equal to negative 3 over 2. Then we will take the square of negative 3 over 2. That is equal to negative 3 squared over 2 squared equals negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. 2 times 2 is positive 4. So we have 9 over 4. That will be the missing term. So, let's simplify the equation. We have m squared minus 3m plus 9 over 4 equals 4 plus 9 over 4. Now we will factor m squared minus 3m plus 9 over 4, our perfect square trinomial. To find its factors, we will take the square root of the first term m squared and the square root of the last term 9 over 4. So we have m minus 3 over 2 squared. We have subtraction here because, as you can see, the sign in the middle term is negative. Then, we will add 4 and 9 over 4. 4 plus 9 over 4 is equal to 25 over 4. Next, we will extract the square root of the right side of the equation. So we have m minus 3 over 2 equals the square root of 25 over 4. So we have m minus 3 over 2 equals positive or negative 5 over 2. To extract the square root of a fraction, we need to take the square root of the numerator first, then the square root of the denominator. The square root of 25 is 5. The square root of 4 is 2. That's why we have 5 over 2. Let's now find the values of m. m minus 3 over 2 equals positive or negative 5 over 2. First, we will use positive 5 over 2. So we have m minus 3 over 2 equals 5 over 2. m is equal to 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2. As you can see, negative 3 over 2 becomes positive when you transferred it to the right side or to the other side of the equation. So let's add. We have m is equal to 8 over 2, which is equal to positive 4. So the first value of our variable m is equal to positive 4. What is the other value if we have to use negative 5 over 2? We have m minus 3 over 2 equals negative 5 over 2. m is equal to negative 5 over 2 plus 3 over 2. Let's simplify. We have m is equal to negative 2 over 2. So we have negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. Let's check if these values of m, positive 4 and negative 1, are the solutions of the given quadratic equation. Let's do checking. Again, the values of our m are positive 4 and negative 1. We will substitute these values to the given quadratic equation. Let's start with positive 4. 2m squared minus 6m equals 8. By substitution, we have 2 times the square of 4 minus 6 times 4 equals positive 8. Let's simplify. The square of 4 is 16. So we have 2 times 16. Negative 6 times positive 4 is negative 24. Then copy equals 8. Next, 2 times 16 equals 32. Copy negative 24 equals 8. 32 minus 24 is equal to 8, which is equal to 8 at the right side of the equation. So positive 4 is the solution of the given quadratic equation. How about negative 1? 2m squared minus 6m equals 8. By substitution, we have 2 times the square of negative 1 minus 6 times negative 1 equals 8. Then, let's simplify. The square of negative 1 is 1. That's why we have 2 times positive 1. Negative 6 times negative 1 is positive 6 equals 8. 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Copy positive 6 equals 8. 2 plus 6 equals 8, which is actually equal to 8 at the right side of the equation. So, we could say that positive 4 and negative 1 are the solutions of the given quadratic equation. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more math videos. Until next time, goodbye!